Good morning, everybody. Hello, I see you. Thank you for dropping the links, hon. Um, there are there are people texting me. Okay, anyways, um, as the title says, and yes, we know we need to kill time for people to get in here. Good morning, I see you. Uh, the title is we're talking about the extended family. Hello, Selena. We're talking about the extended family. So let's give everybody a little bit of time to get in here and then we'll get on with the subject, I guess. Wow, that went from 3 to 10 real quick. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, on your way in, please. Welcome to everybody, by the way. Yes, it's another pop up. You know, I can't stay on the schedule, so pop ups are what I do. You never know when I'm going to be popping up. So you best watch what you're doing. No, seriously. I hope everybody liked that video that I put out yesterday, although it did take me literally all day to load it up on YouTube. I started at like 9 o'clock yesterday morning and it did not finish loading until 11:50 last night. It was ridiculous. Hello, Justin. How are you today, hon? Good morning. And I do, by the way, guys, while we're talking about the extended family and stuff, if anybody has any answers or suggestions or advice, or if they have knowledge that I do not have, please fill me in. Feel free to say, drop the link. I want to say something, whatever. Because, I mean, I do know quite a bit, but trust me, I do not know it all. So I'm not a teenager any longer, so obviously I don't know it all. I don't know everything. Only teens can claim that title. And I do apologize, guys, for my phone going off. You all know I keep my phone on for in case my grown children or my grandchildren need to get a hold of me, because we all know my kids and my grandkids come first and foremost in my life. I love Summer Wells and all the children. I want them to be found. But you're supposed to start with your own house. You clean up your own back doorstep before you worry about somebody else's. And so I keep my phone on. So if my kids have a problem or there's an emergency, they can get a hold of me. And I mean, I want to say I'm sorry for the interruption, but that's just the way it is. It's the way it's been since I started. Okay, doke, guys. Well, we've been going for 3 minutes. We've got 21 people in here. Um, okay, we have everybody has asked, why doesn't the extended family step up? Okay, we have Don has two sisters on his side of the family. Now we're not going to include his step family, okay? We're talking about just blood relatives. Don has Sonia and the other one, and I can't remember what her name is, maybe Heather or something. On Candace's side, she has two full-blooded sisters and a sister and a brother that are her half brother and sister. She has a cousin that knows the children and gets along with the children that lives up in somewhere in Wisconsin. And of course, there's Grandis. Why hasn't any of those aunts stepped forward to help out with the boys? Why haven't any of them stepped forward and said, "Hey, we'll take the boys until things get settled"? Does anybody have a clue? Do you have a notion of why? Do you have a thought about it? Justin, how about you? Do you know? My thoughts are, the plain and simple fact is, until they figure out something about Summer's case, those kids can't go anywhere. They really can't. They are in protective custody. They're not just in state's custody, they're in protective custody. Because Nobody knows what happened with Summer. And until they figure out what exactly happened to Summer, if the boys are witness to it or were involved in it somehow, and they allowed one of the extended families to step in and take the boys home with them, who's to say how safe the boys would stay? If they were a witness to something, would they be safe? No. I honestly think that the sheriff and the state wanted the boys completely away from the family members because CWDW would gain access to the boys. Right. Well, I mean, it also makes you wonder what Dawn was trying to talk with the eldest one about that day. They can place the kids out of state due to visitation. Been watching on TV but couldn't chat because I was researching on my iPod, but now I'm completely here. Well, thank you, Miss Discovering. You're fine, hun. I know you do all your researching. Justin says, I think Dawn and Candace's rights will be terminated probably next month for good. I believe so too. I mean, he told me when I spoke with him back in early part of March, whenever it was, that if he did not come up with that lawyer, that they were in 3 months going to lose the boys permanently. That's what he said. Their rights would be terminated. I'm late, so catching up. Oh, you're not too late, honey. We've only been going 7 minutes. But as far as the extended family, even if CPS allowed them to take the boys, I bet the extended family doesn't want to take them because they most likely don't want to deal with Dawn and Candace. That's a possibility. Didn't Clyda Trent take them the first night? That's what Clyda says in that phone interview that she had with whoever it was. I thought it was Georgia Girl, but it wasn't evidently. But yeah, that's what Clyda said, that CPS asked her if she could take them for a couple of nights until they could find placements for them in foster care. Protective custody, that's the first I've heard of that. Nana, where did you hear protective custody? Honey, they have to be in protective custody. They do not know what happened with Summer. And I forget, it has been said that it was protective custody. I don't remember what channel or who said it, but think about it. It has to be protective custody because they don't know what happened to Summer. God forbid Dawn or Candace either one done something to that baby. I'm not saying they did, but God forbid they did something to that baby. And the boys witnessed it. Until they get that settled and they find out for sure what happened or didn't happen and whether or not the boys were a witness to it or not, they can't take a chance on it. So they have to put them in protective custody. Hence why Dawn and Candace were not allowed to visit with the boys by themselves, why they were not allowed to discuss Summer's case period with the boys. Do we believe what Dawn or anybody else says? Because I sure don't. Well, I'm not saying that it was Dawn that said it. It's not so easy for a family out of state to get custody. They try to keep the kids close to parents so they have a chance to reunite and work the program. Right. But they also they would prefer to place children in a family home instead of a person they don't know. The court will appoint a lawyer for the parents also. Well, they already have, from what I understand. And a guardian ad litem for the boys. Whenever a child is removed from a home, I believe it's considered protective custody anyways. Well, technically it is. It's Child Protective Services. But that's meaning that the child is being protected against whatever harm the parent is putting them in. But this is more along the lines of actual protective custody until they find out what's going on, until they get solve the mystery, I guess. Thank you, Alpaca Maid. I know a few people who had their children removed. Yeah, me too. And once they lose custody of the boys, that's when I think the boys will be taken to the district attorneys through a child advocate to gain more information on the parents. No, I'd say more than likely if the boys have talked to a child advocate or to anything to do with being a witness or whatever, that's already happened, hon. It happened early on in the Joe Clyde Daniels case. His brother was 8 years old and he was took in and was seen a child psychologist. And she basically the equivalent of questioning him. Don M. Candace hasn't done anything to work the program in order to get the kids back. Nothing, right? Justin, would you like to come up? You're more than welcome to. I always ask you and you always decline, so it's okay. I'm just saying you are welcome to come up. I've known kids in foster care that wasn't in protective custody but still supervised visits from parents. They had to do a hair follicle test last month, hence the reason Candace dyed her hair. Hello, Mama Mac. Hello, everybody coming in. Hey, Nana, just joined. Do I need to rewind? No, you didn't miss anything, hon. Not really. It's only been going 12 minutes. And we're just talking about, I named off the blood relatives as far as extended families that would be able to take the boys, which is Candace's cousin, the one where Summer had her third birthday party. That's her cousin. And Dawn's two sisters, Candace's, well, Rose don't count because she's nowhere around, but Candace's sister Jeannie and Catherine and Kenneth, her brother and sister from her dad. And it is strange though that none of them have bothered to come in and talk with anybody or at least say, hey, I'm here if if the boys need a place to go. And somebody made the comment that it was probably because they don't want to have to deal with Dawn and Candace. And that's probably true. I will come up soon. Will you be on later this evening? I might be, Justin. I'm not sure, hon. Okay, I don't see them getting the children back. Who lawyers up when your daughter is missing unless you have something to hide? Right? I just I don't know, guys. I've been getting Catherine and Kathleen, or not Catherine. Okay, sorry. Her Candace's sister's name is Kathleen, not Catherine. Sorry, my mistake. It's Kathleen and Kenneth Jr. Guys, this just like I put on my video. Like I said, I tried to upload it all during day yesterday. Didn't get there until last night. But is this literally insanity for YouTubers that we keep going over and over and over the same thing, watching the same stuff, asking the same questions, coming up with different, but over the past 2 years, the same conclusions over and over and over again? Nothing is ever changing. Is that insanity on our parts? I just thought I would mix it up a little bit and let's talk about the extended family. Now, Trina is Candace's cousin, and as close as what she seems to be to the kids, I do not understand why she hasn't stepped up to try to take them. I mean, at least offer, I could see getting attorney even if innocent because you don't want to chance being charged with something you didn't do. Well, I try to teach all my kids, it don't matter what's going on. If there's law enforcement involved, you holler for a lawyer, period. Don't say nothing till you have a lawyer handy. At least we are keeping Summer's name out here. Others say, well, there is nothing to talk about. How would they feel if their child was missing? Exactly. Genevieve, how are you, darling? I've missed you. Insanity has replaced integrity. Imagine how detectives feel. Well, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with John Pruitt. Yeah, they would want their child's name out there. And that's why, see, like I don't know if I mentioned this in my video yesterday or not, but yes, I did, but I didn't name why. I do not understand all these holier than thou creators out here. Well, I don't understand why Dawn and Candace keep going up on panels, or anybody for that matter saying that. They shouldn't be going up on panels. Well, guys, it's not like they're telling the law enforcement anything. So why not go up on panel? Maybe and like I said, it would be great if it would just naturally slip out. But if by chance they had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, they get into a heated argument with one of these creators, there's a small chance that their mouth is going to run faster than their brain, and they're going to slip up and actually say something. If they're guilty of anything, if they have any kind of guilty knowledge. So no, I don't agree with these people that holler, oh, Dawn and Candace shouldn't go up on panel. No, they should just learn to conduct themselves a whole lot better is what they should do. I'm not researching the same people over and over. I find new people in the vicinity that I'm researching. Anything and everybody is a possibility, right? We've missed you too, Genevieve. This only shows our loyalty to Summer. We hang on till the end, right? Liam's Nana. Hey, Nana's Angels. Don said from day one that Summer would never be found. He knows something because a parent wouldn't say that if he had any hope she could be found, right? I agree 100%, Liam's mom, or Liam's Nana. 100%. I could not imagine any parent at any point saying anything to the effect that their child is not coming back. I have never witnessed, like on stories, news, whatever, never witnessed a parent that has not actually laid their child in a grave who has ever gave up on that child. The boys are being protected. No family can have them. That's what I've said from the start. FBI need to take Summer Wells' case. Well, they're already involved in Summer Wells' case, hon. They just don't have the lead right now. Candace has a sister named Kathleen. Yes, it's Ken's two oldest kids by his first marriage. They're probably early to late 50s now. They're like probably 17, 18 years older than Candace. The integrity of this case has absolutely went to the dogs. I agree. But I do hope that you're not speaking of me, darling. Hello, Lily. How are you today, hon? I don't know, guys. Some days I feel like I'm going nuts with this case. Some days I want to just stop. Just stop. I give up. I want to throw my hands up and just forget this case ever exists. Not forget that Summer existed. That's not what I'm meaning, so don't take that out of context. But some days I just want to Do away with YouTube, period. Missing children. Totally. The confusion, the fighting, the backstabbing, everything that's going on in the Summer Wells case is just ridiculous. Oh, something I wanted to say in my video yesterday, and I forgot to add that, was, guys, I did add the balloons and such to that list on Amazon. People call it a wish list, and it says wish list on it. There's stuff on there that I do want personally for the channel, but I put balloons and the helium tank, and I think there might be some strings on there. That's to help on releasing. I'm going to take and put make mini flyers and roll them up and put them in the balloons, and then, blow the balloons up and set them loose. And no, I wouldn't need help getting just balloons, guys, but we have to get the biodegradable balloons so that they don't harm the wildlife, the environment, whatever. On that, yes, I do need help. I can't do it all by myself, especially when I'm not making that much. Okay. So yes, it's out there if you guys choose to help. I did hear, although we hadn't heard anything about anybody doing anything about the second anniversary of Summer's disappearance, when I started talking about setting off the balloons with the information inside of them and stuff. But I have heard yesterday that evidently now Dolly Vision is planning on going to Warriors and setting off balloons and Chinese lanterns now, guys. So just so everybody knows, I didn't know who had heard and who hadn't. Thank you, Lori. I fight for my son on a daily basis. I couldn't imagine just giving up on him like Dawn's gave up on Summer. Nona, I promised my son after a year I would stop watching everything about Summer, but I can't. But only watch certain people now. Well, that's good. There's a lot of families, guys, out there of us entranced people. I don't know what to call us. She's captured us. She's mesmerized us. She really has. I don't know if it's just the angelic face, the twinkling blue eyes, the fact that for some reason our heart goes out to her, but she has mesmerized the world. And for the people that she hasn't got a grip on, our families, they do get tired of hearing us talk about it. And we do need to try to accommodate them and try not to. If you need to talk about Summer, find you a pen pal or something here on YouTube in the Summer Wells case that you can talk back and forth about. That's what me and Discovering do. That's what me and Alpaca Maid do. That's what me and Don B do. I mean, for most of the people that I'm acquainted with on here, that's our main goal, is to talk to each other about it, because we can't talk to our families. Thank you for going with the biodegradable balloons. The way people treat our planet is not good, or not going to last forever. Right? And we have to leave our kids something, don't we? The more the merrier, to keep Summer's name and face out there. Absolutely, 100%, Anna. I agree. I think it's because we saw how bad she was treated by those so-called parents. We all know she never had anyone at all. Oh, and by the way, guys, I looked on Amazon last night, because back when I first started my channel, I had made the statement that when my channel grew and I started making more money, I was wanting to take, the little drawstring knapsacky things that sort of double as backpacks. I wanted to get some of those and put like the little fuzzy blankets in it and a stuffed bear or stuffed toy of some sort, coloring books, that kind of thing, and take it out to, we don't have shelters here in Cotton County, but like take it to the schools and send it home with the kids ages between 4 and 6 years old. Well, it's coming up on summertime, and these kids are going to be going home for 2 months. And I can't say, oh, well, this child is in need, so I'll give it to this one, and then that one don't get it. So I would actually be giving one to each, like my granddaughter's classroom. I would give one to each one of those kids. But I found in bulk, those knapsacks, and they are on my wish list. If somebody wants to help out with that project, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's okay. My son-in-law is going to take and do a design on the front of the backpacks to honor summer, be a summer campaign thing. It coming up on Summer Wells, get her information and stuff on the backpack itself. And also, somebody commented and said instead of the Mountain Dew cans, do water bottles. Well, my plan is to try and do both. I did call English Mountain Water Bottling Company this morning, and I spoke with them. I have to draw up a proposal to send to the owner because they would have to actually remake labels because they do theirs up for a whole year. So I'm going to have to convince him into redoing the labels. But I am on that, guys. I am doing what I can from sitting at my house. I do not have a car. I can't physically go and look. But I am doing what I can from this computer, from my phone, through the internet. And I have a lot of people who are helping me get all this done. Discovering the Truth, Alpaca Made, Messy Jessie from over at John Davis's channel. We are in the process of trying to get this done and get it, going. Cross your fingers, say a prayer, help out if you can. If you have any ideas of places that we can contact and try to get missing kids' pictures on the thing, let me know. Send me an email. Thank you, Mama Mac. Thank you so much. And I don't mean to be talking too much. I'm just trying to get everything that I've been thinking about out there. Can't we all get together and demand TVI give us an update? Can't public put pressure on someone? I wish we could, honey. Because of cost, they may say no to labels. But if they do ask if they would do a small one-time special edition of them, hey, that's an idea. Yeah, thank you, Lori. See, that's the kind of thing I'm saying, guys. Give me some ideas. I've lost friend over summer, but I don't care. The way I see it, they were never good friends if they're not supportive of my interests like I am theirs. Good point. It would be cool if we could do or get a book of different missing kids and get them circulating around. That might be too hard, though. No, actually, that would probably be one of the easiest ones to do. Because we can take and there's different avenues to take with that because you can always self-publish if nothing else. And I have, like for the backpacks, I have a screen printer down here in town that I'm friends with, and he's a preacher that I can get to help me with that. My son-in-law has, he's able to put stuff on cups and t-shirts and all that. I'm also friends with the local, it's a different kind of printers. It's like for books and stuff like that. That's who does my coloring books downtown. So I could actually go down there and check with them and see how much one of those books would cost. And I know it wouldn't be as bedazzling, but we could do it in black and white, and it would even, it would cut the cost. But yeah, I could check on that and see how much they would charge me to do that. They might actually do it as a tax write-off. And we could always do that in honor of summer also. I originally found her on Kenneth Bly's obituary. Hello, Angie Davis. I haven't seen you in here in forever, girl. How are you doing? Self-publishing has the least barrier to enter, but you're doing most of the work yourself. Right, but it's literally not that hard. It's just a book with, the missing children. Some of their stories, we could add some of their stories in there, give the information about, where they were last seen, uh, how to, what police department or whatever to contact. The book deal thing is sort of right up my alley. I wouldn't have a problem with getting that done. I could probably put one of those together in maybe a week. And then, all I got to do is find out how much it would cost for us to publish, or not publish, but print out the books. Do y'all hear Loki? He's meowing at me. Oh, you just moved? Well, that's great, hon. Places like UPS stores, if you talk to corporate offices, will sometimes donate printing of items. Yeah, see, that's a good idea. And what's a better, reason than missing children, guys? Can you get Amber Alert flyers put in circulars delivered to homes by post office? That I don't know. But I did think about contacting CJ here in Cott County and seeing if I can't, if we can get some flyers printed up, and putting them, like, what are the laws about, like, putting them under the windshield wipers and stuff like that, if you're allowed to do that. So I could actually, when I'm finding that out, I could check on that post office deal. My cat is attacking me from behind. What do you mean, well, dang? I thought I heard a kitty and looked around for it. I don't even have a cat. You do hear a kitty. His name is Loki, and his sister's name is Luna. Biscuit needs a biscuit. Yeah. She's actually asleep somewhere. So I'm thinking that she actually is pregnant, guys. She's starting to feel a little bit lethargic lately, and if she is, she's probably got about 3.5 weeks to go. Good morning, Versi. How are you doing, darling? We sort of got off the subject of the extended families, guys. Um, we don't know where Don's to. Well, I believe Sonia lives in Utah with his dad and all them. Not, that helps any. I don't know where his other sister lives. Does anybody know what that woman's name is? Am I mistaken? Is it Heather? And we don't know where Kathleen and Kenneth live. Of course, I don't think they've had much to do with Candace, let alone Candace's children. I hope she's pregnant too, discovering. Um, her name is Heidi. Thank you, Barbara Lane. Okay. I knew it was an H something, guys. Uh, Jeannie, we know, is not going to take the boys simply because Candace and Grandis were hanging out. They get along, that kind of thing. And Jeannie doesn't want to have anything to do with Candace or her mom. But I do remember, am I mistaken, guys? Did Jeannie not come on Daisy's channel at one point in time? Just like one time for like a phone interview or something. A dog, a cat, a human. It's my dog, Biscuit. She was 3 years old in March. And I think she's part Chihuahua, part Jack Russell. But the vet says she's all Chihuahua, but she weighs about 30 pounds. She's a big Chihuahua. Not fat, but just large. A very large Chihuahua. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want those two around. Well, yeah, true. Hello, Miss Darlene. You miss your chihuahuas. You had 4. My sister has 4, had 5 until the mama died. Guys, y'all know I never have a structured live stream. I never have a structured chat. Obviously, from the game night the other night, I can't even keep. We were supposed to have 3 guests on panel, and we had 5, sometimes 6 trying to come up. So please don't ever leave just because we're not structured. You should know coming in that this is not a structured chat, live stream. I'm not a very structured person. Okay, I thought Jeannie was on Cher's channel a long time ago. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. I was thinking it was Daisy's channel. Too small, little biscuit for me, Miss Great Danes. Oh, Lord. The game night was fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you all thought it was funny. I mean, that's all I was trying to do, was bring laughter and a smile to somebody's face for just a few minutes, if nothing else. And I do want to try to do it again. Maybe not the same, something just a tad bit different than that. Nana, just FYI, if she is a Chihuahua, there are things you have to be prepared for when she goes into labor. They have complications, others don't. Thanks. Appreciate that, Lori. My son ain't driving me crazy enough as it is. He's scared that she's going to die. It's technically my son's dog. And y'all wouldn't believe this. He wanted to go and have her tested for STDs before she ever mated the first time. I'm like, you have to mate to get STDs. But he's just really over paranoid and protective when it comes to his dog. Sonia was on Shares, I think. Recorded call, I believe. Yeah, I remember Sonia being on there. I'm looking for the panel that a family friend was on over a year ago. And they talked about Candace's sister, Jeannie. Very interesting. It was true. German Shepherd mom came in. I didn't see her. Well, hello. If I didn't see you and you're in here, hello, sweetheart. No worries. It's easy to handle. Unlike your son, I get it. Right. Well, I'm just old school, guys. I mean, come on. I had 4 kids. I've had dogs that have given birth. I have never ever in my life, until literally like the dog I had before this one. When did dogs become people? Dogs are dogs. Cats are cats. They live, they exist, they breed, they have pups. That's just what. How many dogs have you ever known that has died giving birth? I mean, for that matter, how many women have you ever known died giving birth? I just don't. I mean, God, it would kill me if something happened to Biscuit. It would drive me absolutely insane. She is almost my best friend. I couldn't imagine being without her. When I go over to my oldest son's house, I do totally miss her. But I'm not going to sit around and wring my hands worried that something's going to happen to her when she gives birth. It's one of the most, I mean, it is the most natural thing that can happen to animal, human. Yes, almost all my chihuahuas had issues giving birth. They get stuck and need help. Oh, y'all got to stop telling me this stuff. Y'all going to have me paranoid about that. Come on. Discovering, I was eating pistachios the other day and got paranoid about eating pistachios and poisoning myself. Come on, don't be telling me that she's liable to die. She was talking about her dogs being German Shepherds. Oh, okay, I get it. I was like, what? Yep, discovering the issue with the Chihuahua is because they are so small. If the father is, oh, well, see, I took care of that problem. The father is probably half her size or even smaller. The only two dogs I've ever allowed her to breed with were teeny, teeny, tiny Chihuahuas. I won't allow her to breed with anything bigger. I mean, for heaven's sakes, the first one she bred with, she literally laid on her side so that he could get business took care of because he wasn't big enough except to barely climb up on her hip. I know your dogs were your babies. My dogs are too. My kids used to be more jealous of my dogs than each other. I know. Thank you. I know that. I just don't want to worry. Buttonhead. That's funny. Oh, Lord. That's okay. I was informed because he didn't want her to have puppies. I was informed after I was talking about trying to give them away if she's pregnant. No, we're keeping every one of them. What? Jeez. Anyways, we're getting off subject, guys. Does anybody want to jump up on panel to help me stay a little structured so I don't wander off into these dark holes of, dogs giving birth and all that good stuff? Alpaca Maid, you want to jump up here? Alpaca Maid. I know you're not worried about getting up on panel. You're a creator. Come on. Anybody have any suggestions for the next game night? What the questions could be? What the topic could be? Guys, I'm telling you what. Y'all better start talking to me. Y'all better start giving me some darn answers. And y'all better start acknowledging that I'm saying something. Because if not, I'm going to start squalling. And then I might start asking you for money. We know we don't want that to happen. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Bad Nana. You have a question. What's your question? Does anyone know if Grandis left right after she took Polly? That I don't know. I don't think so because I think it was like a week or so after Summer went missing, or it may have been after the boys were took that she didn't leave to go up there. And they went the next day. They went on the 16th and took the polygraph. Cream colored chow chow that named Sasquatch. All about summer. Y'all want to do another summer trivia thing? We can do that. That wouldn't be hard for me to prepare for at all. That chat got stuck for a minute. Yeah. My Napoleon Mastiff has 9 pups. One had intestines protruding from umbilical cord and pitocin for stalled labor and had vet on call. Oh, wow. Sometimes I wish I could get on panel, but everybody would go deaf because my son screams all the time. LOL, he's loud. We don't care how loud he is. We'll just say the same thing you do. Um, we love your beautiful voice. We don't ever want you to shut up. I mean, come on. The kid didn't start talking till he was 13. We don't want him to shut up. You know, I don't know how to do that. We need a practice run. Don't know how to do what? Come on, panel. Hello, May May. We are good. Thank you, May May. I hope you're doing good. No, as far as I know, they all took it on the same day. But the deputies did have to come back and make Candace go. You've got a beautiful dog, but also your hands full. Yeah. You can come up, Darlene. All right, darling. Hang on. Remember, you got to show me your face and then you can turn your camera off, okay? There you go, sweetheart. My mom used to say children should be seen and not heard. Well, that's true. Back in the day, that's the way it was supposed to be. And children minded a whole lot better back then, too. Not as angels getting called away to work, but wanted to say hi and show support. Love you, Nana. We love you too, Holly Golightly. I'm glad that you were here, babe. Thank you. You have a good day at work. Show me your face, babe. Okay. You want to turn your camera off or leave it on? Okay. Hello. How are you, Darlene?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I had seen an awesome video yesterday. It was that Thunder Sky video,
Yeah.
and she did a walkthrough over there at Warriors in the pond.
Yeah.
And then she showed some awesome pictures of Summer with the horses and
Uh-huh.
her even bending down and kissing one of the horses' nose.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah.
me cry. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Louisiana Girl 61 says, I wondered why family wouldn't take the boys from the get-go. But the thoughts crossed my mind, maybe if the parents don't go to jail, it would be a nightmare for the family that have them. That's true too. Yeah, it would. But I mean, that's just the first thing that family does, is it not? Am I crazy, darling? I
Well,
mean,
not really. No. I hope to God that they're not criminals as well or violent.
well, I mean, I know, but I'm saying if a family member is in the predicament of losing their child, isn't it normal for other family members to step up and try to take custody of that child and keep the child in the family?
Yes, it is. It's very normal. It's necessary a lot of times, and the child's got a better chance of surviving.
Right.
The bad thing is, like with DNC, how it is, how they go about threatening others, you can imagine that they would still be around the kids, which would possibly still be a danger to them.
Right. True. Well, that's why we're on here, is to discuss all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of people are still saying, well, why don't the family step up and get them? Why don't the family step up and get them? Well, it's mainly until they find out what happened with Summer is to protect the boys.
Exactly.
I mean, until they prove that Dawn and Candace are innocent, they can't be sure. So they have
Right.
to protect the boys and find out whether or not they know something or don't. The second I even thought Judge was removing my cousin, I stepped in. However, most people just don't unless absolutely have to. That's my niece is in California, her and her ex-man, and they had their little girl out there. And I was actually live when the woman called me back from the CPS office. And I've never even met this child. I've never seen her. Well, no, I take that back. I have seen her one time. But her mother and father wasn't around. But I tried to get her and I couldn't get her. But it's just something that family does.
Can you imagine though? I think they're in the best predicament where they are right now, just for the fact that Don cannot harass any of his family members or talk to the boys and try to get them to change their stories or whatever.
Right.
So I really think that right now where they're at is the best for
Well, I
them.
mean, I believe it is too for right now. Anyways, family does a lot of time, but consider how the parents are on YouTube. I don't know how I would deal with DW and CW. Me either.
And knowing the violence that they both exhibit too in the past, you got to look at the past history. Um, like even Don had, when he was younger, stole his dad's gun and robbed a place and then went and pawned the gun.
Right. Hey, allegedly, hypothetically, imaginary. I wonder if that pew pew might have been the same pew pew that was used in a bank robbery in Utah years ago, back in like '83. I
Hmm.
wonder.
Could have been, huh?
Yeah, did you hear about that story?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you need to. I've got a video on here about it, but there was not the, but a Donald Wesley Wells Sr. who was arrested for robbing a bank with another man in Utah.
Wow.
3.
Wow. It does make you wonder there, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
But I believe they would have. Did they catch him on the scene or did they catch him later on? That's
They
what
caught
I
him
would.
late. They caught him later on with the contents that they took from the bank, and there was an eyewitness.
Right.
The teller that actually got robbed was the eyewitness.
What was Don's father's name? Do you know?
Yeah, it's Donald Wesley Wells Sr.
Don's daddy was Don Wesley Wells Sr.
Yeah. It,
Well,
I'm by no means, listen now, Darlene, by no means am I saying that the history of a Donald Wesley Wells Sr. in Utah robbing a bank has anything to do with Donald's dad.
right.
Okay? Wink, wink.
Exactly. Exactly. It just kind of weird because the son followed that same route of criminality.
Yeah. See, Killer Looks had that video up first with all that research done about that bank robbery and who it was and all that, the connections and or possible connections. And it was took down by YouTube because
Wow.
people complained. That's why I
Wow.
say it's a Donald Wesley Wells and not the Donald Wesley Wells.
Yeah, we like how they keep changing the names, basically keeping the same name throughout the family. That kind of makes it harder for a lot of people. And like I was looking at something Trevor Lee had on, from Candace getting arrested for
Yeah.
domestic violence, domestic
Yeah.
abuse, or whatever. And did you see what her middle name said?
No, what?
It said Rose Bly.
Oh yeah, it does. She is, that is her name. Her name is Candace Rose Bly, and Rose's name was Rose Marie Bly. And
Right.
Grandis's name is Candace Cora Bly.
Wow. Isn't it strange how all that is?
Yes, it is. Especially seeing how Candace had a best friend in Arkansas named Cora.
Wow.
And then, of course, we have all the Dons and all the Andrews. There's what, about 6 Andrews, 7 Andrews
Oh yeah, it's like
in this case,
somebody say Andrew. I'm like, which one are you talking about? Which one?
right?
At least with Candace, we can say Candace or Grandis,
Well, no, there's Candace Floden too. Candace's oldest daughter.
Oh yeah, she went missing for a little while during the time that Summer did, but I mean for a little while, but she was found. She
Yeah.
must have ran away or something.
Okay, guys, I get it. Don's dad's middle name is different. I'm just making a point, I guess. But no, I thought he was senior and Don was junior. Not that Don is senior and Donnie is junior. Jesus, that's ridiculous. Oh, I just wonder what his dad's name is. I mean, his granddad's name is. Does anybody know what that is? Is that another Don?
Is it another Don, y'all? Could it be
Yeah,
Wesley?
her name is Candace Rose Bly. Yes. Her mom was either not very imaginative or she really liked the name Rose.
And the name Candace just kept sticking out through the generation.
Yeah, Donald Lee, that does sound right.
So then, is that saying that maybe did Don?
No,
Don
no,
does have a son that's named after him too, right?
right, he does. But no,
So he's
it was Don, it was I'm not gonna say it was his dad. It was a person who was the same age as Don's dad that robbed that bank.
somebody saying its name's Don Luther and one saying it's Don Lee.
I don't know. I'd have to actually go back and look.
Yeah, Don's son is the junior. Yes, the oldest, the first child that supposedly that I'm just saying supposedly because but it is what people said
Yeah.
that tried to sell.
This has got to be the craziest missing child's case I've ever seen. You're telling me just somebody could write a book just on the names alone.
Exactly.
There's Andrew Bernard Sr., Andrew Bernard Jr., Andrew Simon Sr., Andrew Simon Jr., Andrew Hiltz, Andrew Paul. Then we've got Don 1, 2, and 3, Candace 1, 2, and 3, Blue Roof Don, Don Sherfy, or Senior, Don Sherfy Jr. It's ridiculous. And there's another name, and I can't think of what it is. That there's 500 of them too. There are 2 Roses, 2 Coras. Now, what? No, his granddad. No, what was his granddad's given name? Was he another Don? Is what I was talking about. Wondering if it was Donald Wells 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Donald Wells a third, maybe.
There is 3 Don Wesley Wells, Don's dad, Don, and Don's son. Well, that's what they're having a issue about, ICU. They're trying to figure out if his dad's middle name is Wesley or not.
Yeah, because we're just discussing about a Donald Wesley Wells Sr. and a bank robbery.
Right. A hypothetical bank rob. No, it's not hypothetical, but the person that robbed it was hypothetically Donald Wells. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Well,
I have the video with the paperwork, the court records, all that. Go check it out.
I think Mary is sensible also.
What, hun?
Somebody said the most sensible one is Jeannie, but I think the one of Mary, her speaking out a lot and going, trying to make sure. And I'm glad they stood up, at this time because had they not stood up and said what they said, we would have never known this background that he has.
Right. But the Jeannie, I think the Jeannie they're talking about is actually Candace's sister Jeannie, not Dawn's stepsister Jeannie. That's
Okay, I'm
another.
getting
That's the
confused. There's so
other name.
many genies. Okay.
There's the other name. Yes, I knew there was another name out there. Wood Fairy says absolutely. It's based upon the reason for removing the children. Under normal circumstances, they make every attempt to place children with a family member. Absolutely.
It's
They
like
don't trust.
me. It's like me. I did away with my family because they're crazy and they're abusive. And my brother was even arrested. He went over to a girlfriend's house after she had kicked him out, and he showed up with a shotgun. And but she had found his semen on the bed where the her eldest daughter slept and everything. And but they went ahead and dropped that charges of the SA, and so he just got the threatening communication with a gun charges. All he had.
Right. May May said yes. That's the Jeannie I meant was Candace's sister. I thought so.
Now there's Jenny Rose in the room. That's it. I'm getting more confused. Hi, Jenny Rose.
There is a Jeannie Rose in here. Lord of mercy. That's okay. I was in what is it called? Tragedy Pimps Exposed. I was in her chat the other day, guys. I had not commented not one time, but people kept saying, y'all Nana's not drunk. Y'all Nana's not drunk. And me and Discovering both were like, what? Why are they saying you're drunk? Why are they saying I'm drunk? There was evidently somebody in there with the name, y'all Nana's not drunk.
Wow.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, I hadn't even commented. How would they have even thought I was drunk to begin with?
Exactly.
Members of my family, one a half brother, I don't want nothing to do with them. Right. I missed your first part of your comment. Oh, you're totally confused. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want y'all to know that these people, from somebody that's been abused horrifically, I have been, all right? A lot of y'all know some of my story, and the family is going to deny it. They're going to
Right.
say that you're the crazy one, that this person's the one responsible. Oh, I never did hit this person ever in my life. I never did this. I never did that. That is utter BS, y'all. So just
Yeah.
because they're up there mandating saying that they did not do this, did not do that, does not mean they did not do it.
Right. I mean, what do they think? They're going to get up there and say, oh, yeah, guys, we did it, but y'all can't prove it. Ha ha. They're not going to do that. Of course, they're going to get up there and swear up and down they didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying that they actually did. I'm just saying if they're guilty, any guilty person is not going to get up there and stand up and say, I'm guilty. But
One
y'all
thing,
can't prove it.
which we know, one thing that that we know, all know that they are guilty of, and that's neglect.
And lying. They're pathological
Exactly.
liars.
Most people, what I don't get is most people have been arrested for hampering or with investigative
Yes. Just
processes,
like
and they are really bad doing this badly, and nothing's being done.
exactly like Megan Boswell with the little Evelyn's case. She was literally arrested for lying to law enforcement. That was
Right.
the first thing she was arrested on.
And then they found her poor body.
Right. Just Shay says she needs a pen pal for summer, guys. She needs somebody that she can talk to because evidently her family's getting fed up with her like all of ours are us. But now my kids have had to listen to me about Summer's case for all this time. They just they don't even say Summer's mom and dad no more. When they talk to me, they say Dawn and Candace, like they're on a first name basis with them.
Oh no, that is not right, Denise. Isn't Chris? I
Well,
don't know who. Wait a minute, I don't know who Chris Larson is. I thought
hold
it
on.
said Lawson for a
That's
minute.
Rose's husband. Chris Larson said if Summer was found alive, he will step up to take her to be raised with his two daughters. What about the boys, though? Mr. Chris Larson, why don't you come up on my panel and answer that? The the boys need a good father figure in their life.
Exactly, they do. And you need to keep the family together too. That would be so awesome to do that. I
Right,
had a, I have a friend at Facebook who his family was taken away from the mother. She was very bad, with drugs, and then they put them all in one foster house type of thing, and then they ended up dividing them up and sending the boys to a different foster part. And that lady was so abusive and broke my friend's arm. And then when he was trying to console his brother, well, his baby brother ended up dead, found in a ditch.
oh man.
This was in Pennsylvania, and there has been four other kids that had died under her care in Pennsylvania. And when you go and look at the different other things, there's also that boy in the box, and he's saying, well, she could have been, makes you wonder whether it fits
Right.
around her timeline of these other children killed in foster care. Was this possibly one of them that she did as well? So,
No.
it's like, wow, 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 wow.
Lorraine says there's other people out there with neglect charges, abuse charges, and child's not found, but yet they're being charged. What is the difference in them and Don and Candace? Why can't they be charged? Right. And Jenny Rose, Chris Lawson is all right. Candace's baby sister, Rose Bly, is the father of her two children. They were married right before, like months before she disappeared. And then after she disappeared, he divorced her.
Right away. And then he even did restraining orders. So if she never did come back, she wouldn't have any legalities towards the kids.
Right. Hello, good morning, Eve. To receive love, you have to give love. And to receive respect, you have to give respect too. He did divorce her real quick. He did. Which never made any sense to me.
But
I think,
they always said something about this other family member having relations with him at the time too.
yeah, Candace's sister, Jeannie.
Yeah. But when you go like this and you think of it all, you got to go like this and try to keep the kids together through this horrendous stuff. Because all that they got, that's all they got right now is each other.
Right. Louisiana girl says, I never thought this case would take this long. I pray for her and the other missing people and kids. I wish he'd answer so we could have a peace with the baby. We could have peace with the baby.
Exactly.
No, he never remarried. No, he didn't marry her sister Jeannie. No. I'd like Summer's knapsack myself. You'd like a summer knapsack? Well, we can sure try to get that done for you, darling.
Well, see, a lot of things we ain't gonna really know is really her side of the story. Rose's, we don't really know because I'm not gonna go like this and say, that just because this person said, well, she wanted a separation and stuff like that. How do we know all that? We can't believe these other people. I want to hear it
Right.
straight from the horse's mouth. Because my family, if they were out there talking about me, y'all, the story would be changed. It would be so bad against me.
Um,
So
right. Crystal Stokely. I know there's a lot of people in here that are big fans of Chris McDonough. I know there are. I don't happen to be one. If it was me and I felt the way that the Wells do about Chris McDonough, I would probably accept the help from the Cold Case Foundation, but I would request that Chris McDonough not be on the case. I would accept the help, but if I felt the way they did about him, I would just request he not be working on the case or be involved in it. So
exactly.
other than that, I don't know why they won't accept the help.
He did accept it for a couple of days and then went back on it and changed his mind.
Well, I didn't think that you had to ask for the Cold Case Foundation. I thought LE's the one that has to ask them in. Or they're a Cold Case Foundation. Why don't they just pick it up and do it?
Well, I
To
know
me,
that hearsay says that she was going somewhere and she was going to be back, and her car was found in in a shopping area, so that's kind of strange too, because it was not somewhere, like when they said like she drove off to do something like that. Why wasn't it supposedly at the bar when they claimed she was? Why was it over here at this shopping center?
right. Just always remember if you see something, say something. And in my opinion, that's been the problem. Nobody stepped up and said anything at the beginning, talking about neighbors and schools and stuff like exactly. And all these people that are stepping up now wanting to run their mouth and get their 15 minutes of fame. Well, why the heck didn't they step up when she went missing? When the people were out there saying, hey, if you're here, if you've heard anything, if you've seen anything, if you know something, why didn't they come forward then? To me, all those people that are coming forward now, running their mouth about, oh, I seen Candace coming out of the woods, but they didn't bother telling that story until after a year or year and a half after someone went missing. They need to be given a ticket and have to show up in court and answer why. Well, why? Why couldn't you have come forward in the beginning if you actually saw this?
Somebody was telling me that somebody right after Summer went missing was saying that he had saw a little girl matching Summer's description at the end of his driveway walking.
That was what Frank Light said that. Not Frank Light,
Not sure who.
Fred Hill. Fred
Fred
Hill's the
Hill.
one that said that, yeah. Nana, I heard that Candace, what's the last one to see her sister? And no, that's not true. That's not true. And guys, I don't stick up for Dawn and Candace, but I do try to stick up for what's right. And that is not true. Supposedly, now we don't know it for a fact, but if it wasn't true, I'm sure law enforcement would have said so by now. Dawn and Candace were en route from Arkansas to Tennessee when Rose went missing. Candace was not the last one to see her.
One day there was over here in Pulaski. I live in southern Tennessee, and they could take a quick route, a different route, and come through this way. Well, one day I saw, it's about 6, 7 months ago, I had seen, um, I think it was a green colored pickup truck, and looked like Grandis behind the wheel and had so much junk in the back and the back seat, like traveling and stuff, and a lot of junk in the back end and stuff. And the tailgate was down and all, and she was passed out. And I was like, it looks like just like Grandis.
Yeah. Wood Fairy says, does anyone ever consider the implication of the evidence list of items that were removed from Ben Hill, or if the children were removed after evidence collected and processed? Just a question. Well, first of all, we don't know for a fact that that list of evidence was actually real or if it was faked. There's a lot of people believe that it was faked. And two, I don't remember if they were removed before or after. I really don't. Oh, something else that I would like to get out there, by the way. Does anyone know the Dancing in the Rain video? Does anyone know for sure, not just a guess, know for sure what date that video was recorded on? If you have that information, please send it to me, because it coincides with something that was said the other night, which is PG made the statement about it was like a week and a few days before Summer went missing that video was took, that the picture of Dawn holding Summer in that same outfit was took. And if you counted up a week and 4 days, would have been the 4th of June, and that's the day that dry run was supposedly happened, when the text came out between Hunter and Candace, when the accident at the Dollar General happened.
Right.
Yeah, you can hear my kitty. He's a whiner, that's for sure.
Oh, it was 18 days before she disappeared.
It was
I see you saying video was 18 days before Summer
oh,
disappeared.
the video was 18 days. Okay, well then I guess that would knock out the 4th of June, huh?
That's pretty crazy about all that. Said, yes, ma'am. I see you.
Yeah. I see you. Yes, he has 40 years of experience with solving similar cases, and that terrifies DNC, in my opinion. It's like they know CM would solve it and act like they don't want that to happen. Guys, I know he's an ex detective. He's an ex homicide detective. He's ex cop, whatever. But everybody keeps saying he's got 40 years of experience solving. Have you ever seen his resume? I mean, have you ever seen the exact number of cases that Chris himself was the lead detective on and that he solved? I don't think anybody has.
That girl's wondering what accident at Dollar General.
Oh, where Grandis had that fender bender with her bumper. Some car run into them, or they run into another car or something. I forget the exact story about it. But she had a fender bender at Dollar General on the 4th of June.
Right. I tell you what, if whether or not they were good or bad or whatever, I would still want anybody to do any kind of investigation they can to try to bring my daughter back home.
Oh, well, I agree too. I do agree. I would bring in psychics, astrologists, homicide detectives. I would bring all of them in. I don't
Exactly.
disagree with that one. I don't disagree with that at all. Anybody. I don't care if it's the dealer down the road. If he thinks that he knows how he can find my child, I would pay him to come and find my child. I'm just saying, if Dawn and Candace feel the way they feel about Chris McDonough, take the help from the Cold Case Foundation. Just request him to be took off the case.
Exactly.
If they feel that strongly about him, don't blame the organization for the actions of one member. Accept the help.
it's kind of weird that when we go back and we think about a lot of the statements that were made, and one of the first statements that really got me was when Don actually said, "And we just now got her back."
Right.
That really had like got her back from where? It's got me questioning from where.
Well, everybody keeps trying to say, oh, that wasn't what was meant. That wasn't what was meant. That he was talking about Ziggy's kid. But I'm telling you, I heard that statement made on another creator's channel.
I did
It,
too.
it wasn't Ziggy's because I didn't watch Ziggy back then.
Exactly. I didn't either, and I had heard it, and I think it was actually the news channel even asking something and said, "We just got her back."
Okay, well, Lori says
Mm.
that Chris offered the Cold Case Foundation without him from the jump. And I'm saying, if they are that upset with Chris McDonough, then they should take it and request that he not be on there. But they should still take the help. Like
Exactly.
they run Juanita off. She's a psychic. Okay, there's a lot of those psychics that claim to be psychics that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. But you never know when you might actually get a real one, and they could actually help with finding your child. The one thing about it is they damn sure can't hurt the case. Oh, I see her under running water. Okay, you go to all the local places where there's damn running water. If you don't find her, you're no farther in the hole than what you were before you went and looked.
Yeah, but
Right?
there's so many caves and so many caverns and so many wells and so much water around in that
No,
area. It's crazy.
no, I know. I'm just saying that even if they listened to a psychic and went and followed the lead and didn't find her, they're no worse off than what they are right now by not doing it because they don't know where she's at any dang ways. So
Right.
why not try?
And another thing that really gets with two things in particular that kind of correlate was how Don had said that he remembers going to California and going to places where they sold kids. He was actually in there when they were selling kids.
Right.
Okay. And another
Hey,
thing that
go ahead. Go ahead.
another thing that bothers me is how he goes and blames Jeannie for the essay that he did to her. He
Right.
says, "Well, it was her fault. She came on to me."
Yeah.
No, she was a lot smaller of a kid. He was a teenager. No, it's his fault, his responsibility.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
we can't diversity. We can
diversity.
see your comments.
The thing about that is even if you could blame it on, oh well, he was 12 years old and he was a young preteen and didn't know any better. Not jumping on the bandwagon, but stating a fact. He may have been 12 years old when it started. He was 19 and freshly out of prison the last time it happened. He can't blame it on being a young kid and naive then. Lord
Exactly.
knows he was probably being used as a whipping post in prison, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So he can't say that he didn't know.
And it's
It
kind
was
of
on
thing,
Cher's channel.
and it's kind of it's awful too, where he was being asked by the lab, and he was actually Don was telling the lab that he's the victim in uh, Summers' case. That Summers not the true victim, but he is.
Oh wow. Jeannie Rose, they turned down the advocate that Ellie offered. Actually, I have the recording of them, the conversation they had with those advocates. I have the first interview.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll put it out on a video tomorrow.
Good.
I just happened to cross it on another person's channel and they got it off somebody else's channel, but I've got it now and I'll put it out tomorrow.
No, we know. no matter how much we might get fussed at, cussed at, or anything for mentioning Summer's name or keeping Summer's name out there, would they keep telling us that we do not need to be, we need to just get over her being gone? And no, we're not going to just get over her being gone. To me, that is not parents that want the child found. When you tell us to just get over her being, we don't, we don't know when we can't just get over her being gone.
Right.
Something's terribly wrong with that, y'all. Something terribly. I don't know why LE don't come in right then and there and swip them off when they said, like, just writing her off like it doesn't matter.
Who was it? Somebody, I don't know if it was the Real Rockin' Robin, Alpaca Mate, I can't remember. Somebody checked and it was raining on the 4th of June, by the way, guys. It was
Oh,
raining
okay.
on the 4th of June. Jody
It was,
said, huh?
and what in one of the videos was it not when it was raining that you could see the yellow vehicle of Dudley's in the background?
Yes. Lips did I'll text Lips and ask her if she did that. Did you hear her talking about it? Or was it just Jody Sue saying that she did that? God bless America from Australia. Thank you, sweetheart.
Well, Jody Sue shouldn't have never said that the dogs hit on her shoes and don't know why they smelt summer on her shoes and on her feet, you know?
Right. I agree.
She brought that on herself.
Candace could have been arrested. Why has she not? Honey, we're all still asking that question.
Even contributed to the delinquency of minors right there.
I mean, they arrested Oakley's parents, Carlson's parents, for not giving medication to their oldest child, just to be able to arrest them and hold them.
Wow. And they got
Oh,
so many ways that they could arrest these, and they're still getting away with it.
she says she showed the text.
I used to feel sorry for Jody Sue because when she was going through cancer, and I gave her that little bit of leeway because I said maybe she's not in her right mind because of the cancer medications. And then she started, no, she just continued that behavior and got worse. So I'm like, nah, that ain't going to scratch it.
Right. Alpaca Maid says, not sure about the 4th, but wore my subs out with the weather last year. Just a suggestion, but bring in the psychic, Tessa Caputo, the Long
Teresa,
Island psychic. Huh, Teresa?
Teresa Caputo.
Who talks to departed souls. I still vote for Nancy Weber. Nancy Weber will only come in on one of two conditions. One, the family has to ask her to come in on the case, or two, law enforcement has to ask her to come in on the case. She is actually a psychic that does work with law enforcement. She is proven. She is 100% real. And I have asked her to come in on the case. I've texted, emailed her back and forth. And the only person at the time that I could try to get a hold of was Mary. And I was going to see if Mary would ask her, as being the only, family member of Summers that was around. And Mary would not talk with me because Chris McDonough told her not to talk to anybody. So I never got a chance to ask her. I mean,
It was said that one of the sisters that is married to SA had come down sometime in
Sonia.
June also.
Yeah, Sonia. Yeah, that's Don's sister.
There are too many people in this equation, y'all. There's too many.
There really is.
But the thing is, we already know that RL said, that it don't look like somebody had just grabbed her and gone.
Right. Right. Just remember that after Summer came up missing, Dawn took a trip to New York. Honey, I don't believe in it either. I'm just saying, even if you don't believe in it, what's it going to hurt? If they don't come up with anything, then you're no worse off than what you were to begin with. Now, the bull crap with Donna Serafina, I know a lot of y'all are her fans too. I apologize. I'm not one of her fans because, like with Nancy Weber, I've watched it. With Nancy Weber, she walks into a room, she gets it, she gets the picture, she tells the cops, "This is who it is. Go get them." She don't say, "Oh, well, they're in Gatlinburg or they could be at Dollywood. No, they're an Eastman plant now. No, they're floating down the river on a log. Well, here's you a map of several places you could go. Well, they're not being very friendly to me today." Come on. If you're damn psychic and you got spirits or demons or angels or whoever it is you got talking to you, if you're real, then you're going to know. And it's not going to be all this bull crap so that you can make tons of darn videos so you can get all the views and clicks and never come up with a damn answer. Not one time did Donna Serafina ever come up with a conclusive answer to where Summer might be. She never even came up with a conclusive town, let alone a damn spot.
And now, I have trouble. Of course, I used to like having pictures of panda bears around, because I thought they were cute, cuddly things. But now what they represent is the SA, that a child is ready. The black eyes up underneath them, that's a sign that somebody's ready. And somebody had told one of the Andrews, said that you need to get those pictures off because it represents
Right.
trafficking and all that. And he refused to remove them.
Now, Janet, I'm not saying I don't believe in the talent or the gift or whatever you want to call it. I just don't believe in all these people out here running their mouth saying that they can do it and they can't. And Andrew Hiltz, I know I felt the same way. I love pandas. And after all the bull stuff come out about Andrew Hiltz and all the pandas and all that stuff, I walk into my granddaughter's 7-year or 6-year old at the time, walk into her bedroom and seen a little outfit that had a panda on the front of it, and I freaked out. That is sad. And the last time I talked to Andrew and he was on my channel, I told him about that bullcrap too.
But
That's
he don't
sad.
care.
He's just doing it to aggravate people because people make such a big fuss about it, is all it is, honey. Just like a kid. You tell a kid not to do something, they're going to do it just to spite you.
That makes
Everybody,
him, but it makes him look like he's a predator.
hey, he gets views. That's the thing. If people didn't like him, they wouldn't go and watch him.
Yeah, a lot of people wants to go on and I want to tell y'all, H was a kid. It's not his fault or responsibility on what these three adults had done
Right.
when he wasn't around because he was dropped off because he was going to go on to be with his girlfriend later on. So, and plus, didn't he have a doctor's appointment or something?
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
yes, he went home. So he was not there at the time that everybody says that, oh, he went on back to Candace. And y'all quit adding that to the equation when we know it's not true.
two things. One, Sue, I'm going to address your statement, but I have to ask, and I know there's 50 million people with the same names, but by chance, are you the Sue Ellen out of Sevier County, Tennessee? Just a question. And two, she was spot on with the Vallow case. Yeah, well, so Juanita takes credit for that too. and says she was spot on. And she has proof, just like Serafina says she has proof and that she was the one that solved that case. So does Juanita. So who do you believe?
Now, to get off the topic for a minute, if I can, I'm going to have to go in a few minutes because at 12 I'm going to do a live, and it's about. Can I tell you what mine's about at 12?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a couple in Georgia that had adopted two boys, and they SA'd them was video recording them, and then started trafficking the boys as well.
Yeah, I know. My video on that case got demonetized
Oh, really?
because of the thumbnail.
Wow.
Yeah, it was them. You know the picture of the two guys and the boys walking along the beach holding hands. All four of
Uh-huh.
them were holding hands. Yeah, that's
Right.
not allowed. That's not allowed on YouTube.
Boy.
Don't ever use that picture.
No, I'm not going ahead. I'm just starting to use just my regular picture a lot of times, just my regular profile picture instead of put the other thing up now since I'm not monetized anyway. But I want to talk about that and address it. I got a lot of different areas where a lot of the news areas, and it's crazy because they had adopted them from a Christian with
Yeah,
Children with Disabilities Agency.
yeah. That's a horrible story. I read about a story and I wanted to do a video on it the other day. There's a woman here recently who is being charged with homicide of her 11-week-old baby. You know why?
Why?
She breastfed him
What?
and he passed. She had methadone, which she was prescribed by the doctor.
Right.
And then she had amphetamine and methamphetamine, but all three in her system.
Oh, she's what the link for my thing, Darlene J. Clark's. That's what she's asking for.
What?
And somebody's asking for the link to my thing because I
Oh,
guess I want to go to the.
can you drop it?
So somebody's looking for it right now, I think.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys. Sorry, I didn't see them asking for her link. Sorry, guys.
But
Absolutely.
I'm a spokesperson against this, because I've even written a book about my life, the horror that had happened to me. I was trafficked as well. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was trafficked as well. Um, I was SA'd, and so a lot of these stories. That's why I get these stories out there because I'm not just somebody that that's trying to help. I know from experience, from what happened to me, how it feels, and I've got to get out there and get the word out.
I see you. If I do this, I'm gonna hurt you. If it's something really horrible.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the link for my thing, but
Oh wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's something, Darlene, you might want to look up, get some of your information from. um Also, somebody was trying to ask me the other day, and I could not for the life of me remember what the word moist stands for. I see you. I think you told me the last time I asked this question.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Darlene. Have a good life, sweetheart. There was a psychic, or she claimed to be, that frequented the true crime rooms. She was adamant that she absolutely knew what happened to Summer. Did anybody ever listen to her? Hey, Justin, I didn't know you were still in here, sweetheart. I can't remember what moist stands for. Men something of innocent something something. But it goes along with the new name that they're giving POs nowadays. You're not allowed to call them POs no more. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not want to say the word or even the nickname for it, but you're not allowed to call them that. They actually have a condition, and that's what you're supposed to call them. If you ask me, their nickname should just be sick. Oh, I see you dropped Justin's link in here. I mean, I don't care if he has 6 times the amount of people I've got. There might be somebody in here that don't have his link. Anybody that comes in here that are creators, if you are more than welcome to drop your own link or give us a yell out and we'll make sure your link gets dropped. Unless you're bashing us or being mean to us, and then we don't want you in here. It is. It's horrible that some involved are also police officers. That's right. It's disgusting. They want them to be deemed mentally ill. BS. They are disgusting, in my opinion. Not just in your opinion. No, Nana, people were really rude to her, but what she said happened made sense, at least to me anyways. Who, honey? Are you talking about Serafina? I hope there wasn't nobody rude to anybody in my chat. Sometimes I get off on tangents, and I do apologize, but I try not to be rude and crude and all that disrespectful to people. She kept it up for months trying to get people to. Oh, the woman. Well, I wished we could figure out who it was. I would holler for her. I would get her to come on. I know, and I'm saying that after sitting here saying that I don't believe that they're real, but I do believe they're real. I just don't believe that 90% of the people who say they have the gift has it. Go see what kind of books Barnes and Nobles are selling now. It's sick. These books are making POs normal, and it's okay if Uncle Joe comes in your bathroom. The elementary schools are pushing. I know. I've heard all about that, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, if you can come up with her name, Danica, let us know, please. I can't remember her name. I think it was Rita. I don't know. I mean, I'll hear anybody out. I mean, if Justin decided that he wanted to turn psychic, tomorrow, and instead of impersonating older, bigger women, I'd hear him out. I'd listen to what he's got to say if he decided he was psychic and wanted to tell me where Summer was at. Guys, is this real? Can anybody tell me if that's a real thing? No, it's not real. They're saying, yo, people. I'm not psychic, believer, respectfully. Well, I'm just saying, if you decided tomorrow that you became one, I would hear you out. She kept saying Candace was covering up accident on the stairs. Well, that sort of coincides with that very first friend that supposedly Grandis talked to and said that happened. Sloan Bello did a reading. Why do I know that name? Who wants rewind? What? I only watch you or RJ on Summerwell's case, and that is because y'all are the only ones that wants facts. I do want facts. I really do. Rosemeyer's Candy Hare's friend. Lorraine and Trav Time does also. Guys, let me tell you something. Just to be fair. Yes, everybody's. Oh, and you're sort of insulting Jay is for justice. He's sitting here in this room, and I'm pretty darn sure that he only wants facts too. I can say this. I've got good judgment of people's personalities, guys. Justin is a good-hearted person. He is a good. He loves children. He only wants Summer found, and he only wants the best for Summer or any of these kids. Justin has done good. I know. I like Justin. Hello, Robin. Okay, YouTube official, not a user ID to choose if you want to be taken seriously. Okay. Exactly. Because I see YouTube official and I'm like, that's probably not real. Justin is a good man. Hey, hey, now. He's a good woman too. I'm sorry, Justin. Every time I see you, all I can think of is Tyler Perry and Medea. And that's a compliment. That is definitely a compliment. Sorry, I had to cough real bad, guys. Yeah, you gotta love Medea. I do too, trust me. Thank you, ICU. Look at rumors, but I look at for facts in those rumors, and if there's no facts, it just stays a rumor. I don't know. I can't say that for a fact. Not about you, but about me. Sorry I'm late, sleeping a lot, sick, bronchitis, sinus, been sick off and on for over a month. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. You need to go to the doctor and get you some antibiotics. Trust me, I know that stuff's crappy. The women got tired of not being taken seriously and stopped coming in the rooms. Oh, I missed part of that conversation. Really? You don't see Tyler Perry when you see Justin dressed up like that? Oh Lord, that's all I can see is Medea. A white version, a vanilla version of Medea. I dang sure don't make the connection to Daisy. I really don't. I think Justin needs to take his act on the road and change the name. He needs to come up with his own name for his own character and keep it part of his skit. You gonna go on the road, Justin? Book you some Las Vegas nightclubs and go and perform? See, Discovering even sees Medea. Oh, you're okay, Robin, and I do pray, honey, that you feel better. Like I said, I know how cruddy that stuff is. There you go, Justin. Judea. Or just Dia. There you go, just Dia. I just see Justin as he is. I know I'm just weird. You're not weird. Las Vegas is calling. There you go. On the road. On the road again. Justin for all. Oh, I love Just Dia. There you go. See, it's part of his name and part of Medea, Just Dia. But I expect to be given on just a little bit of recognition for coming up with your new name. For the old lady, that is. I mean, the old lady name. See, everybody's liking Just Dia. We don't want to bring your act down with, other people's names. You do such a good job. No, actually, you're the one that's so funny. Lady May, because people know it's not real. That house has been flipped from TBI and feds or FBI. I don't know. I do trust them. Okay. I don't know, guys. I mean, you have to trust TBI and FBI. Even if they did TBI flub on the Holly Bobo case, you have to trust law enforcement is trying to do the right thing. Well, he better get a hold of Don B. Don B'd probably buy it. But on the other hand, guys, why haven't they done anything about law enforcement in Hawkins County? I mean, we have to trust TBI and FBI. But why hasn't TBI and FBI stepped in and said, hold up, you're not doing your damn job. Either start doing your job or get this shit out of the way. And they've not done that. So it does make you wonder. I'm not familiar with that case. What about planting a tree in Summer's honor? We could have a tribute plate included. That sounds like a good idea. Where would you have it put, though? Nana, we work together on Justin's name. Teamwork, people need more teamwork, especially in true crime, and we'd find more. That's exactly right. If Summer comes home, she'd love to visit her own tree. Yes, she would. You know where I think would be a good place for it? If we could get it okayed, and I don't see why we couldn't. The school where Summer would have went to school at. That would be a good place for a devotional tree for Summer. Nana, my question has always been why they won't allow any assistance with the cat. I don't know, babe. I really don't understand that myself. I have never understood why they would not allow people to come up there and look without they're actually under Ronnie Lawson's thumb. TV, I have information that can't be released to the public right now, just like CM has taped interviews that can't be released until after arrests are made. Woodbury, you're always coming in with information like that. Can I ask, are you law enforcement in some kind of form, fashion, or manner? Need to get permission to play in a local park near Rogersville. I like the school too, or the library. The school or the library, but not a lot of people use the library anymore. But the school, that's going to be appreciated for generation after generation after generation. And it would also bring awareness, hopefully, to parents and to children to be more aware of their surroundings so that something, they don't disappear, that kind of, what, I'm not explaining it right, but you know what I'm talking about. And it could be enjoyed by more people, because not everybody goes to the library. Not everybody goes to a park, but trust me, every kid has to go to school and every parent has to take them. That's a good one, but that's not going to happen because the family owned property that's up there. Because it's named after Ben Hill, and he's like the great grandfather of all of them, of Fred and all of them. That's why they're all distant cousins that live up there. You think we should do a fruit bearing tree? I would imagine Summer would love critters like deer, rabbits, and birds, etc., eating from her tree. I do love the name Summer's Way. Yeah. I was taught not to listen to psychics. I do sometimes just to see. Right? Now, guys, we're coming up with all these ideas in here in Nana's Angels channel, right? Now, you watch in 3-4 days' time. You give it 3 or 4 days' time. Every one of these, or at least 2 or 3 of these ideas, are going to be popping up on other people's channels like it was their idea. And Justin, I'm not talking about you. And anything to keep kids' names out there, anything, Summers and all the other kids, I don't have a problem with it. But when one person comes up with an idea, I do have a problem with somebody else taking and running with it and acting like it was their idea. They should give credit where credit is due. But that don't always happen. And in my case, it never happens. I have experience, if that's what you're asking. I have worked with local, state, and federal LE agencies and turned down a job with the CIA. That's what I'm asking, darling. That's what I was wanting to know. Now you've just turned my 2-hour live into a, would you like to come up on panel? Please. No direct questions will be asked. Only in general questions will be asked. Wood Fairy, would you like to come up on panel? I would greatly appreciate it. I would rather hear from somebody who actually knows than for us to have to sit around wondering and guessing and coming up with scenarios and theories. And if there's somebody out there that knows something for a fact, and like I said, I'm not asking for pinpointed answers. I'm asking, like, why haven't they, in your opinion, why haven't they came out and said more or given more press conferences? The vague questions that we need answers to. Is that Ada or Ada? Not yet. Maybe at a later date. I have your info. I will contact you for a convenient time. Thank you, Woodbury. I'd greatly appreciate that. Like I said, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, hon, but I would much rather have factual information from someone who honestly and truly knows for a fact this, that, or the other, than everybody playing the guessing game. I mean, there are some things that I do know for a fact, but because I don't carry a title, I can't, say this is fact for sure, 100%. But I will take your offer, promise. We can arrange something. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Did we ever decide if it was Ada or Ada? Anyways, whether I'm going to say Ada. Hello, Ada. Welcome to the channel. There's Justin Frall's link, guys. The new Justia. Yeah. That's Justia's channel. Hello, Kirst. How are you today, hun? Ada. Okay. I'm looking for a compiled video of only LE's updates and news conferences. Does anyone know where I can find one? Neither sounds like neither one. Sounds like Ada. Ada. Duh. I don't know why I didn't see that. Sorry. You're very welcome. This circus has gone on too long, and it's time to get off the merry-go-round. Or the insanity, as Albert Einstein says. I don't know why I didn't see her name as Ada. I just couldn't see it. That's okay, guys. Here's a game for you to play. I don't know, some of you may already know it. How do you pronounce this? How would you pronounce TWI? How would you pronounce TWE? How would you pronounce TWA? And how would you pronounce TWO? A lot of people wouldn't get that. TWO. I saw that on a short the other day. I thought it was funny. Sounds Spanish. Yeah, too. Exactly. Except that poor woman was on there going, two, twa, two. She just couldn't get it. I can't hear your pronunciations. Well, sure I can. Shalima got it. She said two. May said two. Oh, wait a minute. Ada said two. Tway, twa. Oh, wait a minute. Twee. Wood Fairy, exactly. I have been trying my best to let people know TBI and why. What is the FEYDS? Is that supposed to be feds? I'm sorry. I'm just wondering, curious. Does not do live interviews with the reporters because of their info they have is very confident. Yes, TBI does do interviews with reporters. FBI, maybe not, but TBI does. As a matter of fact, the head of Summers' case does. His name is Derek Newport. And the spokesperson for the TBI, Leslie Earhart, does. English is the hardest language to learn, but I love my redneck slang. Now you sound drunk, Nana. Who, me? I'm not drunk, I promise. Yes, we know the spiel. You know, we do know the spiel. We know that they're not supposed to say anything. We also know that normally, in normal cases, they give out more information than what they've given out in Summers' case. I mean, just what, 5 years before Summers' case? They had the same situation. Well, sort of the same situation. And TBI was on there every day, spilling their guts about anything and everything. Oh, with my twee, haha, not really drunk. No, I'm not drunk. I tried the other day, guys. I went and drank uh, 2 big mixed drinks. We're talking like water glasses, and 3 shots of tequila and a shot of vodka, and never felt it. Never felt it. Not one thing. Got me so upset. Okay, guys. Maybe my brain is not working. FEYDS. Feds. What does that acronym stand for? Should I ask that? They don't just jump up on regular basis and say, here is what we have now. If they did, cases would never get solved. Evidence would be destroyed. Criminals would have time to run. No, I know that, hon, but I'm saying they gave regular updates. In the Carly Trent case, they gave information about what they were specifically looking for. I mean, for heaven's sakes, they showed pictures and packages of panties that she could be wearing. They showed pictures of a bathing suit that she could have on. They even showed a picture of a lawn chair. They showed the video footage of her in the stores where she was at after she went missing. That kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Real Rockin' Robin. It means certain other channels have blocked people for using the term. Why? Well, it's just silly. Well, just so everybody, I mean, now that I know what they're saying, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just couldn't understand what they were saying for sure. But in here, guys, people need to learn, you be who you are. Don't try to be what other people try to make you out to be on their channel. You are who you are here in Nana's channel. Don't ever try to be something you're not. I just stated I got blocked from comments on other channels for saying FBI, but I will just say FBI here. I know I won't get blocked. Okay. No, you're fine, sweetheart. You be you. That's all you gotta do. Be you. I don't have a problem with you saying FBI. I don't know what the problem would be. It's not like they're the bad guys. They're not the bad guys. None. I've always felt that case was staged, just a moneymaker. You're talking about Carly Trent? Yeah. Rolling on the floor? No. ROFL. Y'all can't do this to me. Meet you in the crawl space with a gallon of water to flush all the tequila. Uh-huh. Seems as if Doug's mods will block you if they think you farted. Yeah, probably. It's probably that stupid Nightbot too. By the way, guys, my mods, I'm asking you. Um Dippy's trying to get me to download that Nightbot. Now, my mods that are in here, do y'all need me to download the Nightbot? I prefer not to, but I'm not the one that's in here having to drop in links and all that stuff. So you do want me to get the Nightbot? All right, we can check it out. I when I watch Doug's, there's always complications with it. Too condescending to viewer. Oh, the Doug, yeah. No, we are the Nightbots. Okay. No Nightbots. Okay. I gotta go, but I like this channel. I'll be back. I'm glad to hear that, Lady May. Thank you. You're always welcome here, honey. And remember, this is your channel too. You're right, Nana. Justin does a great person impersonating some ladies. You got to love her. Justia, yes, you have to love that lady. You're saying, okay, gotcha. Well, I myself don't want to have a Nightbot. I really don't. Doug is off of no thanks. Investigates. It is up to you, Nana, but Nightbot will block not understanding what you are saying, then the mods jump all over you. Right. That's what I was saying. It messes up all the time in Doug's chat. The robot's just too friggin' bitchy, huh? Okay, gotcha. You like dropping links? Well, we love you too, hun. How are you doing today? Well, guys, I know this has not been very informative, but I hope it has been entertaining. Um, it can't be very informative as far as the extended family goes. We know who they are. We know where they're located. We know they haven't stepped up and offered, or at least we think they haven't. We don't know that for a fact. Um, we know what our thoughts are as far as why CPS and law enforcement would not allow the boys to go with any family members if they did step up and try to get them. When I first joined YouTube, I told Nightbot they were rude. I enjoy doing what I do, but I'm here for you. Well, no, hon, like I said, I would prefer not to have Nightbot, but I don't want to take anything away. If it would make it easier on the mods, then that's what we'll do. It's totally up to you guys, not just me. Did I find a date? ICU, I think it was, said it was 18 days. 18 days before she went missing. Is that right, ICU? I believe it was 18 days, Robin. Oh, discovering hush. Alpaca Maid, thank you. She said, thank you, mods. You're great to work with. I heard the church fam said no. Said no about what, sweetheart? You've got plenty of mods. Don't do something you're uncomfortable with. Right. We love you, my Nana mods and chat. Thanks for the afternoon. We love you all. We will get justice for Summer Moon. Taking in the boys. Oh, the church family said no about taking the boys in. Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect the church family to do it anyways. I mean, for heaven to Betsy. Yes, I'm going on a rant. To heaven to Betsy, the church family, the one they have such a great dynamic with, won't even allow them to have the celebration of summer in their church parking lot. Would we really expect any of them to step forward and try to help out the boys? I'm sorry. To me, that says a lot. Church family is supposed to be there just like your real family. Is there anybody in your real family, if your child was missing, that wouldn't allow you to step in their front yard and put on a thing for them? Robin, right there's the date. Discovering says, has anybody been watching Killer Looks and his study sessions course? I found that this Dell person owns a blue van. I think so too. May not have nothing to do with summer, but I think there is. They're just odd. Oh, I thought that's who it was, but I'm limited on who I will follow. Okay, guys, we're going to go for 10 more minutes and then I'm going to cut it. Okay. I appreciate everybody being here. And Wood Fairy, I greatly appreciate you saying that you'll take me up on my offer to come up on panel and help us out with some questions that we may have that we're just needing general answers to. It's more than that. DW was not allowed any contact with his children, even had a miracle occurred and Summerwell's returned alive, he wouldn't have been allowed near her. His words, not mine. Think about that. Exactly right. No. Are you saying what I think you're saying? I think you're saying what I think you're saying. And see that brings on another discussion, because the simple fact was Candace was allowed to see the boys while Dawn was in jail. She was actually seeing them. And as soon as Dawn come out of jail, then he said they were not allowed to see the boys anymore. It was either they were not allowed to see them or he wasn't allowed to see them, and in turn refused to allow Candace to see them. Yes, ma'am. Yours is the only creator's info I added to my book. Oh, wow. Thank you. That is such an honor, Wood Fairy. Thank you very much. That's a real honor. Thank you. That out of the Summer Wells case, that has got to be one of the best honors anybody could get. There's so many creators out here. Thank you. Those children were removed for a reason. And yes, he threw C's name in there too, although he was the one denied access. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. You brought tears to my eyes, Wood Fairy. Thank you. Nani, you know how you wanted ideas for subjects to talk about? Think we should do a deep dive into the unexplained disappearance and see if we can get answers. May? Isn't that what we're doing? You need to get a hold of me, May. So many that just spit and roar. I love your integrity. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I spit and roar too, but I do apologize for it. Not to be rude, just asking. Is Wood Fairy someone significant more than just a sub? I just like to know the 411 on all. They answered that question a minute ago. Hang on a minute. I asked them if they were law enforcement or anything of the kind. And their answer was, well, if I could find it, which I probably can't. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm looking for this. I'm almost there. Here it is. They say, I have experience, if that's what you're asking. I have worked with local, state, and federal LE agencies and turned down a job with the CIA. There you go, Kirst. Candace lost her right to contact because foster mom said she called intoxicated. I'm not current LE, but I worked with them. And I have to vouch for discovering. She says she's dove so deep in Summer's case, even if she turned up alive and well with no answers, I would still be researching, trying to figure out where she'd been. I can vouch for that 100%. trust me, there'll be plenty of information for me as soon as this live ends. Discovering does so much research. Alpaca does research. They both do research just for the heck of it. They have fun doing it. So, you've changed your mind. So what do you think happened to her? Yes, May, both of them are. And my doggy too. Robin, what do you think happened to her now? Is too curious for her own good. You have 2 8-month-old kittens. Well, these are like probably 4 months old, 3 or 4. I'm waiting on Robin. Oh, did you tell? Dawn knows Summer is no longer with us. Dawn said that on an old live with Doug. It was worried about the dealers in the area. Okay. All the right down the road, and if they took Summer due to all the publicity, she would have been, yeah. Hello, Gina Connor. Do you think she blank eating the candy? I don't know, hun. Yes, Don made that clear in his interview in Candace next to their house. Rock and Robin, in my opinion, Don neither has a mindset he's stuck on because he believes Candace's story or he knows truth and it's just part of his story. I don't know, guys. And taking text messages into consideration between H and Candace, June 4th, some scenario, June 15th, right? It says, now, I read those text messages. I have them in an email somewhere. Someone sent them to me. I'm not that tech savvy as far as trying to dig up old emails. For some reason, mine get buried after 6 months. And unless you have a key word to go by, you can't find them. I'm telling you, that man didn't his daughter. Why do you say that, Cursed? I'm not trying to argue, but I'm just wondering why you think he didn't. Limited space here. Hold on. Okay. You can come up if you want to, Cursed. You're more than welcome to. Just tell me, drop the link. If you would rather just say it instead of typing it. Don knew time was up for him or them. He knew something was going to happen to Summer, and the angels dream not one time, but 2 times. Well, according to Don, his latest version of it, he knew 4 or 5 months before something happened to Summer that the angels come and told him repeatedly something was going to happen to her. 4 or 5 months before something happened to her. Don's full of excrement. Yep. We are holding for Kirst's reply. We are. She's more than welcome to come up on panel, though. I can't say if Don did or didn't. Nothing ruled out. All possibilities stand, right? Sorry, Don Wells is not Jesus' father. He wasn't visited by any angel. He's not a religious man. He uses religion to make himself relevant. I smoke way too much. You know that, guys. Almost everything Don says and does is for shock value. Well, hello, that bitch. If I didn't say hello to you earlier, hello, that bitch. I would call you Mama Bear, but I think there's another Mama Bear out there. Danny Kaye, if he was, it was to warn him of the judgment to come, is all I'm saying. Okay, I didn't think you'd been here. Well, hello, darling. I'm surprised about how many kids are missing from reservations. Cursed, are you still there, darling? Eve says Don's so full of bullshit, it's unreal. Okay. In my opinion, all the times I've heard Don talk about the love he shared with Summer, she was his heart. She wouldn't share. He just wouldn't do that. He wouldn't share. He wouldn't do that. Oh, hold up. Whoa. Okay, you're talking about being trafficked. I thought you meant that you didn't think that he ever done anything, never touched her. That's what I thought you were meaning. Sorry. I agree with your statement right there. Oh, I don't think, yeah, I agree with your statement. Don talked more about how Summer loved him. When did he say he loved her? That's a good question, Jenny Rose. I challenge everybody to find videos where he says that, where he says he loved her or loves her. Not her mother, but him. Oh, I do think he may have inappropriately touched her. Yes, sadly, yes. Just Shay, thank you very much, sweetheart. It's time for me to change it. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's time to take the Color Me merch off and put something else on. He or they got a reprieve. Thus, the picture of him holding Summer and Don crying. Summer may not have been trafficked, but I think a debt was owed. I know Don is not a man of the good Lord. Continued. Summer Wells missing from Rogersville, Tennessee since June 15th, 2021. Age 5, blonde hair, blue eyes, 4 foot tall, 40 pounds. Last seen wearing gray pants, a pink shirt, and possibly barefoot. Call with any info 1-800-TBI find. I agree with you, Kirst. For whatever reason, Summer does indeed hold his heart in her little hands, apart from anything else that may or may not have happened. I don't think that's what she said, hon. Well, I mean, well, I'll just leave it at that. Even Pruitt said Summer was not trafficked outside the area, right? Y'all got to remember a lot of theories started by rumors, not truth. Exactly. Anyways, guys, it has been 2 hours and 38 minutes. Oh, wow. So I hope y'all won't be disappointed if I don't put a video out today. But today was just a live. I have enjoyed the time I have spent with my friends, my mods, my viewers, my subscribers, all of Donna's angels. You are all Donna's angels. Summer was Dawn's prize. All of what I am thinking is my opinion only. This has been a great live, Nana. Thank you. Well, thank you, ICU. I'm glad you liked it. I hope Justin likes his new nickname. Just Dia. If someone did take her, it would be from the actions of the parents, even if just neglect. Well, I love you too, Mama Bear. I'll call you Mama Bear. I have to. Rose Star. What parent refuses help to find their baby? I don't have a clue, darling. Dawn backs up Candace 200%. because by now she knows which makes him accessory. Well, just like I said on the video the other day, guys, plain and simple fact is, if they had told, whether it's one, the other, both, whatever, even if it was an accident or what else, if they had come forward back when it happened, even after if they're guilty of anything, if by chance they moved evidence, placed that baby somewhere else, or even handed her off to somebody just to get her away from CPS, if they had come forward back then and said, we panicked, this is what happened, here she is, that would have been one thing. But if they come forward for any information now where they are involved whatsoever in anything that may have happened, being handed off, being adopted out, being sold, being hurt, being, evidence moved, they're going to jail, both of them. And with them sticking up for each other for this long a time, nobody, no jury in their right mind is going to believe they didn't both know what happened, even if one of them didn't know. Traffic not out of the area, but in the area is what people need to think about. Listen to Pruitt, not out of the area. Exactly. That's why I put it in my thing yesterday. I think Summer's disappearance was pre-planned and she was drugged in the milk video to be handed off to somebody, but that she was too much beforehand. Just think about the lack of food, water, and the day on that day too. I wish I could stay on and entertain us. I can't watch the trials. Versi, thank you, sweetheart. You're such an angel. I so greatly appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. I really do. But thank you, Versi. You don't understand how much that does help. And it really does. The empty grave that Ellie found, I believe the dogs hit on it. I'm not sure. Was it a George B. property or does anybody know? Candace covering for Dawn, Dawn covering for Candace, and whomever had her. Right? Jenny Rose says, I found where Dawn said he loved her. Huh. Well, there's once. Not in the area, not in the basement, not in the camper van. So where the hell is she? Yes, I do appreciate it very much, Versi. Like I said, I appreciate all of you guys. Channel 11 News is where she found that, guys. I love you very much. Well said. I will always love you. You know that. I just hope and pray to see you someday, and I hope you're okay. Just know that I will always love you and with all my heart. Okay. Right? They are experts at keeping their mouths shut. Come on, most criminals are, guys. I mean, all the criminals I know, they've got enough common sense not to open their mouth. All right, guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate you all being here. It's been absolutely great. Thank you so very much. Don't forget, love your kids. Make sure your children know you love them, even if they're spitting and scratching the whole time you're telling them. Call your parents. Y'all never know what tomorrow might bring. If you still have the beautiful, beautiful thing of having your parents still with you, make sure you let them know how appreciative you are of having them. Call them up. Give them 5 minutes of your time. Don't forget to let your kids know how much you love them, whether they're grown or whether they're 2. It don't matter. Kids always need their parents' love. Summer's Army will never give up. Absolutely 100%. I love you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.